All right, everyone, this is going to be a state of the things of all the projects I'm working on right now. So, I've been working on a couple of things. Most of you probably don't know, but I don't really have a layout right now. Been moving a lot and just haven't had a ton of time to pour into this stuff, and definitely don't have the time to build a new layout right now. But I've got a bunch of stuff that's been in storage, and I'm hoping to work on it over the coming weeks, and I already have been actually. I'm just kind of documenting the stuff I've got. I guess I'll start off with the BNSF SD70ACe. I showed this probably a couple weeks ago. I put on YouTube or whatever that I'd put LEDs in it. I'm working on a full video. Basically, I'm going to do a video for every project I've got here, but I have now finished the SD70ACe. I'll see if I can add a clip in here of a startup and a quick run. But we put LEDs in, a new motor, new decoder, fixed the ditch lights, bent some new wires, some handrails, programmed ESU decoders, loksound, as well as some extra detail parts. See if I can zoom in there. You can see I got MU cables. So it took this locomotive that I had in storage and really got a bunch of years ago and gave it a new lease on life. So happy to say that I pretty much just finished that. I'll spin it around here so you can see the back. Nothing too special. I actually stole the coupler cut lever from the back and put it on the front. But I did put one of those red MU cables on the back, which, you know, I feel like at least when I first started getting into this hobby, that red MU cable was the bee's knees of detail. So the BNSF SD70ACe is done. Yeah, that's that. So naturally, the next project, I've got to start something. I actually wanted, I recently realized my Atlas Dash 8 in gold, you know, with the QSI, and my Intermountain ES44 DC in Norfolk Southern, they're gone. I don't know where they went or how they went missing, but they're nowhere to be found. I think they got lost in a series of my own moves, or the old club moved and they haven't surfaced. So instead of buying a new locomotive, I figured I would kind of continue what I was working on here and try to bring this thing back to life. This was the first locomotive I really had in HO scale and basically what kicked everything off. So I've just kind of been attacking it. As you can see, I got a ton of detail parts here. Cab headlight, traction motor cables, different snow plow, ditch lights. I'm going to do front and rear. What else we got here? MU hoses, the cab headlight. I've already got that in. Actually, you might be able to see it. I don't have the bulbs in. Ditch lights. These actually aren't GE style ditch lights, but you know what? You can only do so much. Got the plow and the MU cables behind it. It's painted on the left, obviously, and not painted on the right. But we're getting there one step at a time. I'm going to let the glue dry before I mess with it too much. Right now, I actually have the motor and everything out of it. I'm missing basically all of the drivetrain, so I'm going to see if I can source some new parts. I might end up putting an upgraded motor in it. We'll see. But right now I just want to get at least the lights working and have it functioning. I've got a video I'll be uploading soon where I actually ran this around the layout a little bit just as a dummy locomotive. And it was really cool to see that, see it on the tracks again, because it's been so long. I mean, over 10 years. But this is a very special locomotive. Next up, like I said, the Atlas Dash 8. Originally, I was just going to rip QSI out and put this Tsunami 2 decoder in. But since that's missing, and I actually have had trouble finding, well, I don't have the budget to buy a brand new Atlas locomotive right now. I'm going to get back to work on this undecorated one. So I had previously painted it blue. There's probably a little bit of touching up I need to do on it in a few places. The LEDs they show up very bright blue. And actually, unfortunately, there is a lokpilot decoder in here. But it's no longer responding when I put it on the track. So I don't know if it's a locomotive issue or a connectivity issue or a decoder issue. I'll have to tear it all apart and figure it out. But The LEDs were pretty blue from what I recall, so I'm gonna have to pull those out and swap them with warm white LEDs. I'm hoping to do number boards and marker lights, both front and rear as well. This PNP8 decoder has a ton of function output, so I think I'll be able to do it. It's just gonna be a bit of a wiring nightmare. So that's what that's been. I've got a couple scenery projects. Let me see if I can clear this desk off and I'll show you what I've been working on scenery-wise. Actually, this is easier to just go to the other room. I've got my programming track here. At some point, I'd love to start a new layout. And static grass is something that I've just seen a whole lot more recently, and I want to try to get better at it. There you go, you can see pretty well there. I don't think this looks bad. I think this is a good start. This is the first like scenery type thing I've built in, I don't know, 5 to 10 years. Really, I just wanted something I could program locomotives as I'm working on them and get them sorted. But, you know, you can see obviously there's some three-dimensional stuff going on with the static grass. I haven't had a ton of time to pour into it yet, but we'll get there. Definitely better than just regular turf. I got the World War Scenics static grass applicator on Amazon. You know, it comes with a combination of different stuff. I think I made the scenery background, you know, the paint underneath too dark, so you can see up there I actually just took dirt locally. Up here it looks really light, but as soon as I applied the glue it got very dark. So I gotta figure out what I use for a base layer and probably add a little bit more patchiness. I think this feels a little too dense. But you know, a variety of static grass. Actually, this is for the trees I've been working on. Variety of static grass and sort of these leaves. The other thing I've been trying is a better tree design. So Boomer Diorama Railroad or something has unbelievable tutorials. Move that out of the way. Where he does a lot of stuff with wire armatures and bending them, and then has this really interesting thatching and layering technique that he actually uses static grass a lot of the times. So this is kind of what an armature looks like. You wrap it up with these loops, and then you glue the grass on top of the loops, and then you separate the loops into branches and then apply more layers of static grass until it ends up looking really good. At least it's supposed to. This is my first attempt here. It looks pretty bad. I don't know exactly what I did wrong. I think I need to add a few more leaves. I also got impatient and put the leaves on before I finished all of the layers of the grass. We'll see. You know, I think I tried doing two things at once here and got this result. So maybe I need to mess with it a little bit more. But yeah, if I can just place it there. Meh. Good, not great. Maybe not even good. Who's to say? But what I've been doing, you take the 12 mil static grass and you just layer it on top of the loops. And then later, once you separate the loops into branches, you put finer and finer static grass needles on. And then finally, I just got this leaves, which goes on top. And there's plenty of YouTube tutorials. Honestly, check out Boomer Diorama Railroad. His stuff is just unbelievably good. But you got to try, you got to mess up, and then you get better. We like to learn the hard way. So I've got one more thing I can show here. And I know I said I wasn't going to buy anything new, but I lie to myself all the time. I got a SoundTraxx ES44AC in the Pennsylvania paint scheme, you know, the Norfolk Southern Heritage units. And it is a treat. It is heavy. It looks great. I'll upload the review and running video at some point here, but nice addition. It so far fills the void I had from my Norfolk Southern 7519 locomotive going missing, although I do miss that Norfolk Southern paint scheme. But awesome locomotive, and definitely if you're going to get a heritage unit, it's tough to beat these SoundTraxx models. I'm very pleased. So I think that about covers everything I've been working on. I've got a couple locomotive projects here. I've got let's see, I got SD40. I've got a Kato SD40-2 as well, that once I finish all these things I'll hopefully get to. I've been debating repainting it, but I don't have an airbrush right now or a setup for that, or even an air compressor, so I'll probably leave it in this paint, just put a decent decoder in it and maybe some ditch lights or something, but we'll see. So Probably, I don't know when the next video will be uploaded. It's tough to find the time to do it right now, but I am working on stuff. I do respond to emails, so thanks for checking in, and we'll catch you next time.